Have you ever stood in front of the mirror? Maybe early in the morning. The house is still quiet. You look at yourself for a moment, and suddenly you notice something you hadn't paid attention to before. Another grey hair, a few more lines around your eyes. A face that has changed little by little over the years, and for just a second, a question quietly slips into your mind. Where did all the years go? It feels like yesterday you were chasing dreams, working hard, raising a family, making plans for the future. Now one day turns into another. The grandchildren are growing up. Friends you laughed with have moved away or passed on. And sometimes life becomes so quiet that you begin to wonder if your best days are already behind you. Maybe you've even caught yourself saying, "I guess that's just part of getting older." But is it? Or have we simply been taught to believe that growing older means growing less alive? Because here's something I've noticed. I've met people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who walk into a room with a smile so warm it changes the whole atmosphere. They still tell funny stories. They still get excited over the smallest things. They still make plans for next week, next month, and even next year. Then I've met people 20 or 30 years younger who have already stopped dreaming. They wake up with no excitement, no curiosity, no joy. They've convinced themselves that life has nothing new left to offer. So maybe youth isn't something we lose with age. Maybe it's something we lose when we stop enjoying life. Carl Jung believed that the second half of life isn't meant to be a slow goodbye. It's meant to be a new chapter, a chapter where we stop chasing what impresses other people and start discovering what truly fills our own hearts. Think about it. When you were younger, happiness often depended on big moments. Getting a new job, buying a house, getting married, building a career. But as the years go by, something beautiful begins to happen. You realize that some of the happiest moments don't make the news. They're found in the quiet parts of life. A peaceful morning before everyone else wakes up. A phone call from someone you love. A favorite song that instantly takes you back in time. Watching the sunset without feeling like you're in a hurry to be somewhere else. Those moments may seem small, but they have a way of making the heart feel wonderfully alive. And maybe that's the real secret to staying young. Not trying to look 25 again. Not pretending the grey hair isn't there. Because let's be honest, if grey hair really meant life was over, grandparents wouldn't be the ones dancing the hardest at family weddings. Sometimes they're the last ones to leave the dance floor. The truth is, grey hair is not the end of your story. It's proof that you've lived, you've loved, you've learned. You've survived things that once felt impossible, and that's something to be proud of. So today, we're not talking about expensive treatments or impossible routines. We're talking about 7 small joys that quietly keep your spirit young after 60. Simple things, everyday things, the kind of joys that remind you that life can still surprise you, no matter how many birthdays you've celebrated. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. How old are you today? And what's one small thing that still brings a smile to your face? Leave it in the comments. I truly enjoy reading your stories, and you never know. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Now, let's discover the first small joy that can help keep your heart young. Number 1. Always have something to look forward to think about when you were younger. Remember how exciting it felt when something special was coming? Maybe it was a holiday, maybe it was your birthday, maybe it was a family gathering. The funny thing is, the happiness did not only come when the day arrived. A lot of the happiness came from waiting for it. The excitement, the anticipation, the feeling of saying, something good is coming. But as people get older, sometimes they stop giving themselves things to look forward to. The calendar becomes empty. The days start feeling the same. Wake up, eat breakfast, watch television, go to sleep, repeat. And slowly, life starts losing its color. But the people who stay young inside usually do something different. They always have a little adventure waiting. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be as simple as, on Saturday, I'm going to visit my friend. Tomorrow, I'm going to try a new recipe. This weekend, I'm going to walk somewhere I've never been before. Small plans can create big feelings. I once heard about an older man who had a simple routine. Every Friday morning, he went to the same little cafe. The people there knew him. They knew what he ordered. They knew where he liked to sit. And someone asked him, "Why do you come here every week?" He said, "Because Friday is the day I look forward to." Think about that. He created a small moment that gave his week meaning. Many people are waiting for a huge event to make them happy. But sometimes happiness is not a huge event. Sometimes happiness is knowing that tomorrow has something waiting for you. Maybe it is a phone call. Maybe it is a walk outside. Maybe it is reading a book you've been meaning to finish. Maybe it is simply sitting in your favorite chair with your favorite drink. Never underestimate small joys. A small reason to smile can change the entire feeling of your day. And this is something beautiful about getting older. You learn that life does not need to be loud to be meaningful. Sometimes the quiet moments are the ones you remember the most. So, I want to ask you, what is something you are looking forward to this week? Share it below. You might inspire someone else who is watching. Because sometimes one simple comment from one person can remind another person that life still has beautiful moments waiting. Number 2. The joy of feeling useful. One of the biggest secrets of staying young inside is feeling that you still have something valuable to give. A lot of people think retirement means your important days are finished, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Your value is not measured by your job title. It is measured by the lives you touch. Maybe you help a neighbor. Maybe you teach your grandchildren something you know. Maybe you share advice with someone who needs it. Maybe you simply listen to a friend who needs someone to talk to. Never underestimate a kind word. Sometimes a 5-minute conversation can change someone's entire day. Carl Jung believed every person has something unique to contribute. And that doesn't disappear because you turn 60, 70, or 80. Your experience is your treasure. You have survived things younger people are still learning about. So never say, "I don't have anything left to offer." You do. Sometimes the smallest acts make us feel the most alive. Number 3. The joy of protecting your peace. As we get older, we start realizing something important. Peace is a luxury, not the kind you buy, the kind you create. When you are younger, you might spend a lot of time worrying about what everyone thinks. You try to please everyone. You try to be everywhere. But eventually, you learn something beautiful. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Some battles are not worth your energy. Some people are not worth your stress. Some things are better left behind. Protecting your peace does not mean you don't care. It means you finally understand that your happiness matters too. A peaceful mind feels younger. A heavy heart feels tired. So choose your peace. Drink your coffee slowly. Enjoy your morning. Take a walk. Spend time with people who make your soul feel lighter. Number 4. The joy of staying curious. The moment you stop being curious is the moment life starts feeling smaller. Young children ask questions all day. Why is the sky blue? How do birds fly? How does this work? Somewhere along the way, adults stop asking. But the people who stay young keep that curiosity alive. They still want to learn. They still want to discover. Maybe you learn a new recipe. Maybe you learn how to use technology. Maybe you watch a documentary about something completely random. Curiosity keeps your mind awake. You don't need to know everything. You just need to stay interested. A curious person can be 80 years old and still feel like life is an adventure. Number 5. The joy of saying yes to small adventures. You don't need a passport to have an adventure. Sometimes adventure is just doing something different. Take a new walking path. Visit a place in your town you've never seen. Try a food you've never tasted. Talk to someone new. Many people think adventure belongs to young people. But adventure is actually a mindset. It's saying, let me see what happens. Life becomes exciting when we stop doing everything the same way. Even a small change can wake up your mind. Sometimes the best memories are created when you simply decide, why not? Because staying young is not about pretending you are 25. It's about staying open to life at any age. Number 6. The joy of appreciating your own story. One thing I love about getting older is that you start seeing your life differently. When you are young, you are always looking ahead. You are thinking about what you need to achieve, what you need to become, where you need to go. But as the years pass, you start looking back and realizing something powerful. You have already lived through so much. You have overcome things you thought you couldn't overcome. You have loved. You have lost. You have learned. You have grown. And that story is something nobody else in the world has. Sometimes we are too busy comparing ourselves to others that we forget to appreciate our own journey. Someone else's chapter 20 is not supposed to look like your chapter 60. Your life is your own book, and every scar, every lesson, every happy memory has helped create the person you are today. Carl Jung believed that becoming your true self is one of the greatest journeys in life, and sometimes, the older we become, the closer we get to understanding who we really are. So take time to appreciate yourself. Look through old photos. Tell your stories. Remember the funny moments. Remember the people who made you smile. Your memories are not just things from the past. They are proof that you have truly lived. Number 7. The joy of ending. Each day with gratitude. The final joy might be the simplest one, but it can completely change how you experience life. Gratitude. Noticing what is still good, because life will always have problems. Nobody escapes that. But happy people have learned something important. They don't only look at what is missing. They notice what is already there. A warm meal. A peaceful morning. A phone call from someone they love. A beautiful sunset. A comfortable chair after a long day. These little things are not little at all. They are the moments that make life meaningful. Sometimes we spend so much time waiting for a big blessing that we forget the small blessings sitting right in front of us. A person who can still find something to be grateful for will always have a reason to smile. And that kind of happiness keeps the heart young. So let's quickly remember these 7 small joys. Have something to look forward to. Feel useful and remember your value. Protect your peace. Stay curious. Say yes to small adventures. Appreciate your own life story. And end your days with gratitude. The beautiful thing about these joys is that they don't belong to a certain age. You don't need to be 20 to enjoy them. You don't need to be rich. You don't need a perfect life. You just need an open heart. Because maybe staying young was never about looking younger. Maybe it was always about feeling alive. And the people who stay young after 60 understand one important truth. Life doesn't become beautiful because everything is perfect. Life becomes beautiful when we learn to notice the moments that already are. Before you go, I want you to answer this question. Which one of these 7 small joys is already part of your life? And which one do you want to bring back? Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 small joys speaks to your heart the most? Or maybe there's another small joy that has helped keep you feeling young over the years. Share it in the comments because your story could be the very thing that lifts someone else's spirit today. One beautiful comment can remind another person that life is still full of hope, purpose, and joy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our growing community. Every week, we explore timeless wisdom, psychology, and simple life lessons that help us live happier, calmer, and more meaningful lives. Thank you so much for spending these moments with me. I never take your time for granted, and I'm truly grateful that you're here. Remember this: getting older is a privilege that not everyone gets to experience. Your grey hair tells a story, your wrinkles tell a story, your kindness tells a story. And as long as your heart can still smile, your spirit can always stay young. Take good care of yourself, keep finding joy in the little things, and never stop believing that your best moments can still be ahead of you. Until next time, stay happy, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.